The PGA EuroPro Tour travels north to Northumberland, to a familiar venue but a new course, presenting a fresh challenge for golf's brightest prospects. Welcome to the Dawson and Sanderson Travel Classic. Welcome to the HotelPlanner.com PGA EuroPro Tour and event number 3. The year started in style at the Belfry, a venue rich in Ryder Cup history and one that provided suitable inspiration for the opening tournament of the season. William Harrold made the perfect start to the 2014 season. A testimony to his growing maturity, he rose to the challenge over the renowned Dawson Course, overhauling the overnight leader Jack Senior to clinch the title by a single shot. It was a tough test, with the prospect of a playoff looming large and memories of the Oxfordshire last year when the win eluded Harrold. But a birdie on the 17th steadied the nerves and proved enough to clinch the title. Well, no season is complete without a visit to Scotland, the home of golf, and the magnificent Montrose presented a fresh challenge for our golfers in both course and climate. Wind, rain and finally fog reduced this tournament to 36 holes, but that proved enough for Jack Senior to produce a final round of 66 to banish memories of the Belfry. It wasn't quite good enough to take the title outright, but good enough to force the playoff. James Fraser and Elliot Saltman provided the opposition, but after the disappointment of the Belfry, Senior wasn't about to let this one go. So it's Jack Senior who leads the way at this early stage of the season, with impressive returns from just 2 events and the promise of more to come. The challenge this week is at Longhirst in Northumberland. We're here for the 5th time in as many years, and there's never been a shortage of drama in the 4 previous visits, as John Morgan explains.
We're here at Longhirst Hall. We've had 4 great previous winners here at the Lakes Golf Course, including the likes of Walgar, Stewart, Clark and Archibald.
But in 2014, it's a new test in the form of the Dawson. The course may have less water hazards, but still brings plenty of fresh challenges. No 2 events are the same on this tour, and this week shows us just why. The tranquility of this course can be quickly shattered by wind blowing in from the coast, the tight greens and the punishing rough. But in between is a course that offers rewards for the right type of game.
The Lakes course that we have played in the past is very tight and full of water, as the name suggests, but the Dawson course is longer, wider fairways, but it's got very small target greens, which a lot of the guys this week have commented on, and it's made them sharpen their game up this week for short wedge shots into the greens in particular.
John Morgan takes us through the pros and cons of the Dawson course.
Well, here we are at Longhirst Hall. Last year we had the Lakes. This year we got the mighty Dawson. Fantastic, very long, great condition. Now the players are going to have to weather everything, all the elements, water, lakes, you name it, they've got it. Can they deal with it?
Plenty of household names appear on the EuroPro starting list, and one of those is 2-time European Tour winner Bradley Dredge, who takes time out to discuss his career and passion for the game.
if you're motivated enough and you keep working hard enough, that you can have a very long career in golf.
But we'll start with a bit of background on Longhirst. After all, it is the 5th year in a row that the tour's been here, making it pretty unique in the EuroPro's Roll of Honour.
It's a fairly generous front nine, but the key hole really is the 5th. It's an island green, it plays around 404 yards off the back. But the guys this week have been playing it down to about 80, 90 yards and then having a good shot into the green, which is a moat-ridden green, island green, generous green, that one in particular. But I think it's represented a good challenge, that particular hole. You've really got to go to 10, it looks deceptively short, but depending on the wind direction, it can play so many various ways. Then going on to hole 13, which for our members is a par 4, but it's been increased to a par 5 off the very, very back tee. And with the varying winds that we've had this week's played many ways and given a lot of challenges to the guys.
Sponsorship plays a massive part in staging any event, but involvement in the EuroPro Tour is giving businesses the chance to be associated with the next generation of golfers, the stars of tomorrow.
I think it's a fantastic spectacle. It's a great tour. It's for up-and-coming pros, and it gives the values of what we stand for as a business as well. Very, very proud to sponsor it. I think it goes without saying that the green keeping team here has done a fantastic job the last 3 days. It's in great condition, and who wouldn't want to put their name to it? We're very proud of it. It's fantastic.
Well, the weather stayed fair for round 1 with just a slight breeze to contend with, and it was Luke Jackson and Alex Belt who made the most of the conditions. But those soon changed on day 2 when the rain swept in and a real test emerged as the field battled to contend in the opening 36 holes. So the stage is now set for the final round of the Dawson and Sanderson Travel Classic, and it's over to your commentary team of John Morgan, Andrew Coulthard and Simon Golding.
Thanks very much, Cara. And here's how things look after 2 rounds. William Harold, he's got some serious company on that leaderboard, but he heads into the final round with a 3-shot cushion, and if you offered that to any professional golfer, they would bite your hand off. So things looking good for William Harold, and alongside me, John Morgan and Andrew Coulthard. Once again, weather conditions pretty tough, Andrew.
Looks a little bit tricky out there again today. The woolly hat's on, giving that away. 170 on the 3rd. He's smiling at it. There was a bit of divot there, wasn't there?
Man, I don't know what he was doing. There was dip, there was divot, there was everything going on. I think he was just smiling at it because it was that bad.
Yes, a smile or a grimace. We might have a few of those today. Scott Fallon wrapped up. 2nd. And a solid golfer, Scott Fallon. Hits the ball a long way, but showed us last year that he's got quality around the greens.
We'll see if he can use his gel free card here. Bump and run, take the break. I'll be happy with that. Good chip.
Yeah, well played from Charlie, a man who made his way into the professional ranks after winning the amateur version of the Trilby Tour back in 2009. Fallon, unfortunately, just on the low side, but I guess with weather conditions as they are, you can be quite bold on these greens.
Yeah, I think so. Here's Lydiard. Now can he wrap this one up and get out of jail, as John said, with a par.
There we go, that'll do nicely. Right then, time to hear from the man in 3rd place, Rory Walsh.
Rory, going out in the penultimate group in today's final round, 4 under. Are you pleased with how you played so far this week?
Yeah, especially yesterday. First day was a bit of a struggle, but played really nice yesterday. Hit a lot of fairways, hold a lot of putts, so yeah, pretty pleased.
This is your 2nd season on the EuroPro Tour. What have you learnt about how to play best in these events?
Learned really to to not panic if you get off to a bad start, because it's 54 holes, so if you get off to a bad start, to just stay calm, really.
Looking set to make your best finish yet on the EuroPro Tour, what would it mean to take the actual win?
Everything, really. It's what we work for, so it'll give me a great springboard for the rest of the season to hopefully challenge for the Challenge Tour spot, so everything, really.
Yes, a lot of challenges in there, and there's a challenge out on the course today. Some big holes for these boys to contend with on the final round. But as always, we hope it comes down to good golf and not errors at the end of the day. And there we go. That'll do nicely.
Superb shot. Absolutely great. Staring that one down. Loved every minute of it. Well, this man, what a lovely, quick, you know, easy swing. Doesn't take it too far back, very short and follow through, you know, not much to go wrong. I mean, he's had a great off-season, played a few events abroad, won a few as well. He's obviously coming into this year feeling pretty confident. I'm expecting big things from James.
And after a lovely tee shot. Very good. Scott Fallon, nice birdie.
More then from just off the surface using this claw grip. Seen a few odd putting strokes over the last few years on the EuroPro. Well, solid enough from James. Just needs to tuck that one away to keep things ticking along steadily. Right then, time to hear from the leaders before they tee off.
Bradley, you're going out in the final group today alongside William Harold. He's got a 3-shot advantage, but you're a 2-time European Tour winner. You know what it takes to close out these things, don't you?
Sometimes I do. Well, obviously conditions are tough again today, so I think it favours the chasing guys when the winds are up and it's more difficult. So, you know, we'll just see what happens out there today.
William, 7 under. You've got a healthy 3-shot lead going into the final round. How are you feeling ahead of potentially your second EuroPro win in just 3 events?
Yeah, I feel all right. I've never been in the league before, so experience is, I guess, nothing today, so I've just got to sort of treat it like my first one, I think.
So nervous or confident?
Bit of both. I'm always nervous, I think. Just got to learn to play with it.
We saw you miss the cut in Montrose. Was that mainly just down to the weather? Otherwise, do you feel like your game's in pretty good shape?
Yeah, I'd like to blame the weather, but I mean, I probably had a little bit of an off week, but yeah, I think it was tougher when I was out, but yeah, that was last week.
Okay, well, best of luck today. Head down and keep going.
Well, there you go, sage advice from Cara. Honest young man is William Harold, but a very good player, the man from Norfolk, but he's got some serious company today, hasn't he? I mean, how about that, having a 2-time European Tour winner on your tail?
Yeah, absolutely. First time you lead and going out there with somebody like Bradley Jedge just behind you. It's going to be a difficult, challenging day for the young man.
Going to be an interesting balancing act today, John. Just, well, a combination of attacking, but also trying to hang on to your score as well.
Yeah, I mean, like Harold said, though, unfamiliar territory right now. So, I mean, he's going to have to, you know, weather the storm and give it his best shot. I mean, good experience for the lad anyway. I mean, he's obviously won. He knows the feeling, so.
Great save from young Walsh here after being out of position.
Lydiard just dicing a little bit with danger there.
He came off a very good save on the previous hole, so his confidence will be high after getting away with murder there.
I tell you, he went on to make his par as we go to James Moore at the 3rd. Let's have another look at this swing. See what we mean about the acceleration.
Yeah, short, whippy, lovely. I like it. Not a lot to go wrong. You'd be very good in windy conditions, that's for sure. So this, I think, might suit him down to the ground.
From the fairway again. Second shot. Nice swing also. Oh, it was at the flag.
It's zipped off the front as well. Oh, look at this, right in the heavy stuff. Come on, powerhouse. Oh yeah, get nasty with it. That's what you got to do. Pretend he's your worst enemy. when you're in those positions. Look at that. That's what you get.
Well, that's a great shot. That's an island green, and there's danger all around there. That could have been a disaster, but he's done well, Chris Nicol.
Now, what we got going on here? Our two leaders in deep discussion with the referee. Keep an eye on that for you. Birdie putt then for Moore.
Good tee shot again, right at the flag. Oh, good effort.
Did look like it was going to come back for him.
I mean, for a win for this man would be huge. I mean, to be fair, over the last couple of years he's played it and he's been so close, but yet so far, I mean, he is definitely due one.
Our second look at Chris Nicol after that fantastic approach. Oh, that's the way to do it. Goodness me.
That felt like an eagle.
Yeah, Scott Fallon all rigged up against the weather.
Just suggest that he moves that trolley a little bit further away from him. Don't want to be getting any protection from the umbrella. That would penalise him. A little bit long with a chip there.
Yes, good spot, Andrew. Yeah, looks like Dredger's got things sorted out. Needs to close those 3 shots down, but experienced enough probably not to be thinking in those terms, John.
Nah, he won't be thinking like that. Oh, and wax the flag. Lovely jubbly. Look at that. That helped him. I know that had a lot of spin on it, but my God, what a lovely swing that man has. Just very, very simple. Obviously worked on it all through the years. Oh, and that's a good swing as well. Look at that. Held it off lovely.
Staring it down.
Yeah.
Oh, a little bit shy, just slightly misjudging the strength of the breeze.
Yeah, half a club. Not enough.
Very short putter for Fallon, so produces quite a crouched stance, but you were saying we're gonna see a few different putting styles over the coming years.
Oh, definitely. Once this rule finally kicks in, my goodness, they're going to be holding it all sorts of ways, aren't they, Andrew?
They certainly are. Now, Harold was in the trees. He managed to chip it out to there. How good is his short game? And there is the answer. That is almost perfection. Wonderful touch there, William Harold.
He'll be used to a bit of breeze at Sheringham. Plays on the links out on the East Coast, so just a trip up the East Coast for him to get here to Longhirst Hall.
Oh, that looks left. Yeah. Played it safe, didn't want to attack that flag. But here comes Dredgy. And can he capitalise? A nice bit of fortune off the flag. No.
First chance to put a bit of pressure on the young man. The 40-year-old former European Tour player. Little ponder on that putt.
Fallon after a good up and down. What's he got? To the island green. Making sure he's over the water there, Andrew.
Always a good idea to play safe when there's water around.
No doubt.
Greg Payne would have fancied the shape of this hole, being a left-hander, but nothing wants to come back for him from the tee to the green.
What a lovely rhythm putt that was as well. Here we go, Harold. What a start.
That's great work, William Harold. Difficult after the tee shot, walking off with a par. Well done, job done.
We talk about putting styles. He's got his toe way off the ground. Who was that? Ozaki? Well, it was
Asai Aoki. I think is the name you're looking for there,
That's
Morgan.
the one I was. Sorry, man. He's a bit before my time. He's in your time, isn't he?
Thanks very much, mate. Appreciate that.
It's not getting any better, John. Yes, we referred to that last season with the toe up. He had one big putt drop so far. Now more from behind the trees. Second shot into the par 4 fourth.
Oh, that's excellent. Great shot from there.
I mean, it looks so calm out there at the moment. Quite surprised. First couple of days it was blowing an absolute hoolie.
Well, real tester there for Scott Fallon. Well done, hangs on to his 1 under. And Payne, not done too much, but left with this for par.
Oh, denied, poor bone.
Kind of coaxed that one towards the hole, didn't he?
Yeah, that was a shame.
Perfectly pin high at the 4th. Oh, can he make birdie after the excellent approach?
Another lip. Little wry smile going, what on earth have I got to do?
Yes, frustratingly for him, just can't quite get it moving. But I think that really is the story for most of the players at the moment. It's going to take a little bit of magic to get something out of this round. Tapped in again from Rory Walsh. It's tentative, it's cagey out there, and there's more action to come from the Dawson and Sanderson Travel Classic after the break. Will William Harold manage to hang on to that 3-shot lead, or is somebody from the chasing pack going to mount a serious challenge? Stay with us. Welcome back to the Dawson and Sanderson Travel Classic from Longhirst Hall in Northumberland. Still pretty breezy, wintry conditions out there for the final round, but I'm pretty sure that this man will be able to cope with it. 40 years of age now, Bradley Dredge turned pro back in '96, but the stats speak for themselves, and Bradley spoke to John Morgan.
I always felt that playing these tournaments, especially when I'm starting off, it's a good learning curve in terms of what you need to do to get the most from yourself day to day. You know, anybody can just go out there and have one good round, but you've got to put 3 good rounds together under pressure, which is another big thing that you learn. Now, you have to learn it. Not many guys are like a Rory or a Tiger and just sort of turn up, shoot 65 3 days in a row and collect the money and off they go. You know, not many guys do that.
No, they're the exception to the rule, aren't they?
For the younger guys, you know, I think it's more of a mental battle. That's why I always think. I think most of the guys got the talent.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Whether or not they're able to cope with the pressure, cope with the travelling, the sort of day-to-day, week-to-week of tournament golf, it's a bit different. I'm very much into, well, put my goals down, and you know, I felt as though I should have won more and more tournaments over the years. So I feel as though I still got some good years left in me yet. And,
I know, yeah. I don't want to talk about age, but you find like some guys, when they reach their 40s, seem to just come into massive winning ways. So, I mean, hopefully you follow suit, boss.
Well, I look at, I mean, obviously, I think everybody's looking at Jimenez at the moment. Yeah. And, you know, he's playing unbelievable golf. He just seems to be playing better and better. And, you know, you look at somebody like him, and it is quite inspirational. You know, you see, I mean, I'm quite friendly with Miguel, and you see what he's doing, and you know, it just shows that if you're motivated enough and you keep working hard enough, that you know you can have a very long career in golf.
Brad, let's talk about your fitness, man. I know you've had a few little injuries, you know, little tweaks and stuff. I mean, how's that all healed up? How are you feeling nowadays? Yeah,
it's getting better. You know, it's been much better this year. A few health problems last year, so had to try and overcome them, and still. It's ongoing a little bit, you know, just trying to work with it a little bit. So I just want to get to the point where I'm able to play as I want to play. Actually, a friend of mine was seeing a chap called James Hirschfield, and James coaches a few other guys on Challenge Tour on tour. So I actually started doing it online. I used to do it online years ago, just send the swings off and do it that way. And he's been giving me some really good information. Quite happy to sort of get the information and just working it myself at the moment. I feel as though I've improved my technique quite well over the winter, so it's been going in the right direction again.
Well, great to hear once again from Bradley. Seen him in action on the EuroPro Tour several times over the years. Really does respect the tour, respects the game. Works very, very hard at his golf. And John, good opportunity for you to have a chat with the man.
Yeah, I mean, lovely. I mean, I've known Bradley for years. And, you know, fantastic professional. You know, he's worked so hard at his game, and, you know, it'd be nice to see him back up there, you know, winning again on the main circuit.
Long par 5, 6th. How close can Nicol get? There's a bunker front right. If he can get anywhere near that, well, he's done well there. That's a good miss. Very sensibly played there. Gives himself a great opportunity for birdie.
And Mr. Walsh, what have you got in store for us, sir? Oh, looked a nice cosy swing. Hopefully find the middle of the dance floor. Just off it, but be a bit happy with that one. Bit of a long putt, but it's a tough hole.
This is the man who freely admits he's nervous ahead of this final round, has never led before, so he's got all the pressure on those young shoulders, and that's never a good sign.
Yeah, it's all a great learning experience for William Harold being in this position.
Let's see what his touch is like. Monster putt. Just get this one up close. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
Well, that's going to be tough, I'm afraid, for Rory.
Nicol taking the putter from off the green here. Long way away from the hole. Let's try and get it in the dustbin lid, as we tried to say. Very good. Nice touch.
Playing with a good competitor as well, Mr. Armitage.
The tester for Harold. And the short game looking in really good nick so far.
I tell you what, in these conditions, that's what you're going to have to rely on. Great short games. I mean, the greens are pretty small around this course. So, yeah, you're going to see a lot of chipping and putting going on.
Excellent two-putt there from Walsh. And Nicol looking for the same result. Up and down. And there we go. Now, Andrew, if you were in Bradley's position coming into this final round, what would your thinking be?
Well, I think you've just got to be obviously very professional, just trying at the fairways, try and put it into the greens. He knows Harold has never been in this position before. He knows he'll be under pressure. As long as he can, well, not do things like that, as long as he can cosy things up to the hole, make Harold think he could creep his way back into this.
Here comes Graham Clark, a seasoned professional here on the EuroPro Tour. We love having him, and he's got a great game. And he thrives on chipping and putting.
Sniffer, as he's known. We'll see if he can make something happen. Now, a very similar sort of putt to the one that he had to claw a shot back earlier on. And a very similar sort of result.
That was a bit clumsy there, Brad. The experienced campaigner can't be having too many three putts from the edges of the green. He's got to put this young man under the pressure.
Now, this is where Graham Clark can be an absolute genius. I hope I haven't jinxed him.
Just a little bit too much check. I mean, all the wet weather has made these greens very damp and soggy. So, yeah, if you catch it a bit too fine, you're going to get too much check. Stroke wise, he's left it short.
Well, I might be nervous, but that's an excellent up and down from William Harold. And I think the realisation that he is going to be nervous, that it's natural, I think that's a good way to be.
Yeah, there was no bluff and bluster in the interview. He was completely honest ahead of this round. Now, eagle chance for Scott Fallon. He's had quite a few chances so far today. Hasn't got the putter rolling until now. Look at that, drains it.
The old bearded warrior does it again. Well, here we have it. Great pace putting this is. And I tell you what, any technique works. There's no right or wrong, as long as the ball goes in that hole.
Yeah, the old phrase, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, etc., etc. Applies in a game of so many nuances like golf. I think you're absolutely right. For all the nerves out there, Andrew, he's trying to play nice and steady. There's a certain bustle about him, a certain confidence about the leader, Harold.
Good stroke.
He almost never leaves a putt short, Graham Clark. Always gives it the charge. Now a birdie chance for Harold. This would just take a little bit of pressure off.
I think he's playing it right. I mean, he's been really steady the first couple of holes, not, you know, playing to the hearts of the greens, taking his medicine. I tell you what, it's a good leveler for the rest of the round.
Just getting his ball back in play. There's Fallon there. Otherwise, he'd have had to take a penalty drop.
We'll see Harold knock that baby in. And now he's there on the other hole. And well, that's a lovely shot from very close range. Obviously not much green to work with. He'd be very happy with that one.
Fenwick, powerful chap, this guy, and a Hibernian Football Club supporter, so there'll be plenty of rage in that golf swing as they've been demoted into the Scottish First Division. It'll be nice to see them play Queen of the South this coming football season.
Getting your pound of flesh there, Mr. Coulthard.
He'll get me back, don't worry.
Now then, Harold with another test. That's pretty much been how his round has gone. And our first sign of a chink in the armour. Oh dear, some of these players get themselves in a right pickle behind the bushes.
He is, but if he's clever, it's a par 5. He can still get out with a par. No much damage done.
What do we see Seve in that situation? What would he have tried, do you reckon?
I'd say he probably had about 10 shot varieties to try from there.
Exactly.
Some of them off his knees. Held nothing back there at Fallon.
Well, it looks like the wind has actually just picked up. I tell you what, he was ripping into that one. And James, nice and simple again. What have you got in store for us, sir? Oh, spin.
Get in! Oh,
what a shot.
Oh, beautiful.
Have that.
Oh, well worth a celebration. And it hasn't been working with the putter. So James Moore decides to take that out of the equation. Well done. There'll be a few players praying for that kind of result from the fairway.
Similar sort of chipping stance to his putting. Very low hands, quite far away from the ball. That's going to leave him a tester to save par.
Fenners, here he is. Nice little simple chip straight up the green. Go. We've seen Graham Clark do exactly the same thing. We'll see a little bit soft there.
You can see the hole. It's playing tough today. That's going to be a drop shot from Fallon at 7.
Yeah, such a shame. All the good work undone. And he'll know how valuable that drop shot is. And Neil Fenwick for birdie at the par 5 6th. And both he and Moore acquitting themselves very well indeed on a very tough hole. Well, let's take a quick look at how things stand. Not a tremendous amount of movement on the leaderboard. Apart from negative, that is. Most of the players just dropping back by a single shot. So Harold still finds that he's got 3 shots in hand, and that should still give the young Englishman plenty of confidence. Now, just getting a bit more of an indication about how breezy the conditions are today. Up there on the 7th tee.
Yeah, very exposed, the golf course as well. Not a lot of trees about for protection, so everything getting buffeted. Didn't like the look of that.
That's never good.
It looks in poor shape. Oh, come on, Harold, what have you got? Monster par 5. Taking this on 2. Be very brave. Oh.
Ooh, that could be awkward.
That's feet outside the bunker. We'll test his ability now and flair around the greens.
Oh, just when it was going so well. Moore with the drop. Oh, and his playing partner as well. He's catching.
No caddy for Dredgy this week. He's going to have to do it himself, and in these conditions, well, it's very hard to do.
Oh, surprised at that. He's taking the flag on up against the bunker. Shouldn't be too difficult to get up and down from dredge from there.
This man's going to give it a good old rip. There we go. This boy done all back.
But Andrew, we're going to have a couple of situations like this with the way the wind's blowing today. You'll have some holes where you can score, some holes where you're going to really struggle.
That's right, and into and out the left is always a horrible wind for the right-hander. Well, Harold, that's not a bad effort from there with that stance. Very good.
Yeah, in these conditions, you've got to take the rough with the smooth. I mean, it's not easy. And that was a fine chip. Look at this. Take note, guys, at home. This is what you do. Get your weight forward. Make sure you get to the back of the ball, because that lip is right behind you, and if you catch that, well, you make yourself look silly sometimes.
Yeah, a little bit of genius from the young man at a hole that the rest of the field have been looking to score on. Ball below the feet here for Fenwick.
Member at Dunbar Golf Club up on the east coast of Scotland. Knows how to play in the wind. That was a good example of how to keep it low.
Right up against the face. Very simple.
God, it's a masterclass.
Like you said, Andrew, that's their bread and butter.
Oh, sensational bunker play from both men. And should get away with no damage done.
Here it is, just beautiful rhythm, no rushing. Kept his angles lovely, just popped it up, and the ball just released beautifully to the edge of the cup. Almost hold it. A wonderful camera angle there.
Yeah, still picking up a shot to take him back to where he was at the start of the day, Dredge, at 4 under. Got himself clear of that chasing pack on 3. This is one of them on 3, playing the 7th, which is looking pretty brutal today.
I mean, that wind is now picked up so strong. I mean, come like 6, you know, straight downwind, easy birdie hole, 7, straight into the teeth. I mean, honestly, these guys don't know if they're coming or going.
And once again, that cushion is reduced from 3 to 2 for William Harold. Is that the point at which Bradley Dredge starts to make some positive moves?
Now Fenwick doesn't want to make a double here, needs to get this close. How's the connection? Oh, rather him than me there.
Mr. Clark. Nice wedge shot. He got the club spin. Oh, great shot, great control. Great control.
Similar situation over on 7 for Ma. Needs to get this in. Oh, good try. Just so many catching the edges.
Looks to be a double for Mole. Clark for another good putt. No. Oh, with that weight, you'd think that would drop. Feels like it's defied gravity. And that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Is Fenwick going to get away with just the one drop? Keep your head down, finish the stroke. It looked a good stroke. Oh, that's a double as well.
Shaking her head, he knew it.
Well, he and Moore at the moment just following each other. Like for like down the 7th, I'm afraid. Double bogey putt for James Moore then. This one still isn't over and done with.
Be interesting to see how Bradley and Harold deal with this 7th hole.
So a double-double for Fenwick and Moore, and quite a lot of this field moving in the wrong direction, although Max Smith, 3 under for the day, coming through 15, moves himself to 1 under, but it's still Harold and Dredge at the top of the table here in the Dawson and Sanderson Travel Classic. More to come after the break.
Welcome back to the Dawson and Sanderson Travel Classic from Longhirst Hall in Northumberland. The final round is underway, so it's time to rejoin your commentary team of John Morgan, Andrew Coulthard and Simon Golding.
Thank you, Cara. Tough day at the office for our EuroPro Tour players today, but Bradley Dredge has all the experience and closing the gap on young Harold, the tournament leader coming into this final round. Well, this hole has been brutal today.
Oh, that's a great tee shot. Yeah, players struggling to keep it on the fairway as we watch Bradley Dredge's swing here. A lovely extension away from the ball. Hips hardly turn, beautiful shoulder turn, and then turns on the power, releases the club, and that's a beautiful golf swing. Hardly changed over the years. Very good, Bradley Dredge.
10 out of 10. Now, Mr. Moore, can you bounce back after that double on 7?
Yes, and bounce back is exactly what he needs to do, but it's going to be tough on this course. Right, time to head out to the 9th. Here's John Morgan.
Well, here we are at the humongous 9th hole. It is 591 yards. We start from here, as you can see, all the way up there. It's a bit deceiving, really. I mean, it looks really tight, but it opens up. There's water on the left, out of bounds on the right. There's further water up there. But let's go up there, and I'll show you what lies ahead for your second shot. Well, here we are, landing zone, position A, 281 yards to this spot. It is off the tee, so the boys going to hit a massive drive. They can bail out right if they want to, saves them all this agua that's there on the left-hand side, but then second shot, you ain't going to get there in 2. Just take your medicine and lay up, but it don't stop there. Let's go up and have a look. Come on. Well, you've hit your 2 career best shots. You're still probably 40, 50 yards away from this green. This is how big this baby is, but then you've got to contend with water on the left, water on the right coming into this green. But I tell you what, if you make your birdie, you're definitely 1 up on this field.
What's going on, John? What a day to forget your hat.
I know, mate. Bold as a billiard ball, what can I say? And this weather plays havoc on a bald head.
No danger with Rory Walsh today. He's got the tea cosy on. And he cozies that one down the fairway very nicely. Haven't seen the water features come into play too much today, but we will see. There is still time. Now, Harold started the day on 7 under, slipped back to 6 under, but still has a cushion.
Big tee shot this. Players struggling back into the wind off the left. Can he get it down the fairway? Great drive.
Dissection. Now, here we go. Great one-piece takeaway, straight to the top. Full extension with that right arm, coming in, really laid out. Oh, look at that, power through, under the wind, nutting it straight down the middle of the fairway.
That's how it's done, but 2 very different swings between he and Dredge. You think of the thousands of hours that have gone into the Dredge swing, or Harold at the other end of the experience spectrum. A little bit of spin there for Luke Joy, first time we've seen Luke in action, but acquitting himself very nicely on level.
Well, very good positional play with his second shot. Rory Walsh. Can he get this one in close to the hole? Oh, right on the flag, just a few yards short. Birdie chance.
On first day's play, they were going in 3rd shots with 6 irons into that hole.
Wow.
Shows you the difference in wind.
Well, he doesn't hold back, does he, Harold? Full-blooded swing of the club once again, but looking anxiously after that one.
Come on, James. Lovely little pattern style he's got, works wonders for him. Good pace. Oh, actually, no. Bit of rush of blood there.
3 good shots to here for Walsh. Can he make it a 4th?
There's your answer. Very good indeed. Andrew, we're starting to move towards a real match play feel, aren't we, between these top two? So Bradley can make a decision here.
Certainly are. And the second shot into 7, very long. Bradley doesn't like it. He's caught it a little bit heavy. Well, it's in no danger. Hopefully with his skills, he'll be able to get down in a chip and a putt from there.
Yeah, but not the way to put pressure on your opponent. You'll be looking for better than that. He was up and after that very quickly.
Yeah, didn't like that one. I mean, he got some good delayed chubby checker on his shot in, but then unfortunately couldn't convert the putt.
Now Moore has raced this by as this to stay at 1 under. Back again, oh dear.
I think I give him the kiss of death. Sorry, James.
And a lot of frustration there.
And it's a shame. This 10th hole definitely gives you a massive chance for a birdie. And to walk away with a bogey is, yeah, unfortunately, a boo-boo.
Important for Harold to get this one round about the hole. Steady. Steady. Well, he'll be disappointed with that. It's giving Bradley Dredge a scent of blood.
Well, almost every shot we come to Harold for at the moment feels like the crown jewels, and not quite as strong there with his short game. Now, haven't seen Scott Fallon for a little while. He's second into the par 4 11th. Bit of work still to be done. Golden opportunity here for Dredge to just ask a question of Harold.
Yeah, this would be good timing. Get this one nice and snug close to this pin, or even hole it.
And like you said, Simon, earlier on, playing with Harold, he can watch him, he can sense how Harold himself is feeling.
It's becoming a bit of a match play situation. We have a 2-horse race at the top at the moment.
Yeah, it's set up very nicely indeed. Now then, Harold, yet again, a big shot.
Composure. Oh, so close. Unfortunately, not to be.
Good word there, John. Just got to stay composed. Very difficult day out there. You're going to drop shots. Just do not panic.
Yes, we'll see how much that does cost him when we come back for Bradley Dredge's putt. Scott Fallon then choosing to go with the putter. That is very often the result when you've got a cut to come through.
Yeah, not easy. It's a bit of a guessing game when you've got to come through the cut. It's just, you don't know how it's going to react on you. Sometimes it just flies through it next minute. Anyway, here we go. Come on, Dredgy.
Oh, turning point, I think.
That's a great par on that hole. Playing very tough today.
So Bradley Dredge now got the bit between his teeth. And Walsh manufacturing a beauty from there, but was able to play into the wind.
I mean, full credit to these greens, though. I mean, with all the weather they've had, they're still very dry and, well, fantastic. Built extremely well.
I just love the pace of that young man's stroke. It just looks fantastic. Just not rushed, no sign of pressure or tension.
Well, let's take a look at the leaderboard, and it is big changes. Harold has seen that 3-shot cushion disappear. Bradley Dredge is very much in the game, as they say. And who is going to emerge from that chasing pack to grab a little bit of the action? But I think you're right, guys. I think it has come down now to a head-to-head between Dredge and Harold, but what young Harold must not do is keep losing ground. He's got to hang on to the shirt tails here. It's all changed in terms of the psychology.
This is good, though. I mean, Harold might look at this and think, right, I got to give it a go now. Not defending anymore. I got to attack this course, and it might work to his advantage. You just never know. We'll obviously see what happens over the next couple of holes.
There's been such a momentum shift, though, over that front nine, hasn't there? With Dredge now almost in the ascendancy, and Harold, almost chase.
This on now, 9. He's going to wrap his hands right over the top here and bend it round that tree. Hopefully get it running up the fairway. Give himself some advantage. Probably leaving himself no more than probably 60, 70 yards in.
Yeah, not quite to plan for Dredge. Fenwick, already seen him use his power a couple of times today. And it may actually come in useful as this round progresses. I'm afraid too much shape on that one, and the wind's taking it away.
There we go. Lofted club in his hand. Whip it up in the air and hopefully, I think, sticks when it lands. Spin. That's a good shot. Obviously, unfortunately, spinning away from the hole, but I'm sure you fancy his chances.
So, par 3, 12th, 152. Scott Fallon, seen him play some great par 3 golf over the last couple of seasons on the EuroPro. But the flag position on this final round, tough.
Now, he's got the bit between his teeth. Can he get this one in? Oh, he can. Catches the right edge. Well done, Bradley Dredge.
Fantastic stuff. Moves into the lead. Let's hear from John at the 10th.
Well, after the humongous 9th hole, par 5, the lads have got to deal with this baby. And par 4, very hittable in 1. They got to deal with this right-hand side, big pond. Obviously, they can take it out of play, hit it up that right-hand side, gives them a simple chip in. But if you haven't got the muscles in your armoury, this is your landing spot, and there's no shame in that. Leaves you in about a sand iron or a lob wedge into this green. Green facing you, easy birdie hole for these boys.
Well, there you go. Easy birdie hole. Dredge will be hoping to make it so.
He's had the perfect layup. Left himself the perfect yardage. Can he take advantage of it?
A little unlucky.
Fenwick squirted his second shot away out to the right-hand side. This pitch should be back into the breeze. Oh, pretty good from there. And he got away with it. Maybe not the connection he was after, but he'll take it.
Well, I tell you what, I think he got a pretty half-decent strike on that, because there was some serious late zip on that baby.
It was a bit hot in the mouth for a moment. Oh, Fallon having to give this one a good rap as the rain comes down yet again.
This rain is relentless. Now Harold gonna have to bend this one. Unfortunately, that looks like a very poor layup off the tee. And this could be a fantastic one. Got some zip out the rough.
Well, you just hope he can hold it together. An exalted company today, young Harold. This would be a nice save. There we go. That's what pays the bills at the end of the day. Up and downs like that.
Straight up the hill. Go on, take the borrow. Go. Oh, just lacked that ounce a bit of pace. Needed a few more Weetabix at breakfast.
Full marks though, he's hanging in there, just needs that little bit of encouragement.
I think he had the perfect attitude. I mean, I loved his honesty on his interview at the beginning, just saying, you know, it's his first time, he's going to take it as it comes.
Fenwick, is he taking the pin on? No, sensible. See a lot of shots there. Give himself a birdie putt.
Yeah, that was a nice shot.
Once again, Dredge sees the door just ajar here. Yeah, not quite take advantage, but he's keeping it nice and calm. Certainly not showing too much emotion for his young opponent to feed off. Poker face from Dredge today. Well, that's the way he plays.
Oh, Walshy, go on, mate. You have to chip one in. Make your move. Run out. No, not enough beans. unfortunately.
Now, we haven't seen Max Smith today, but he's been putting together a very solid round indeed. Got himself to 1 under, and then unfortunately just dropped back to level, but, well, if he can get something out of that, 1 under in the clubhouse will be fine.
Yeah, in these conditions, that is amazing. And the man from Dunbar, go.
Yes, it was not to be for Fenwick. So when I saw this pairing for the final round here alongside Moore, I did wonder whether they were going to be able to drive each other on, but that just hasn't happened yet. Big tester here.
Certainly is a big tester. All about pace. He's left himself with a tricky little 5-foot putt for a par. That's a brilliant stroke from Rory Walsh. Well done at the 11th.
Now back to this 18th. And in the space of a few seconds, Max Smith might see his good work undone for today. Come on. Well done. Well done. Held his nerve for level par into the clubhouse. And a decent final day's play from Max Smith. Well, it's been an interesting day so far. Bradley Dredge has finally wrestled the lead away from William Harold, who's seen quite a big turnaround in terms of shots, but he's acquitting himself well. He's hanging in there, and you never know. That head-to-head competition might just run the course today.
William don't want to give too many away. He used to put the pressure on. Oh, and he's got a little bit fortunate there. That could have been very bad. 1 foot to the right, and that was in a very deep lie.
Oh, I know where the pin is here. Now then, Walsh, is he going straight at it? Or is this left of the pin? Yeah, very good. Good shot. Very difficult pin that to get in there tight. Sensibly played.
Now, Fenners, what we got in store? Gonna have to try and make his move, take on a few pins. Oh, and that would have looked great in the air. Unfortunately, you won't be able to see that very raised green. That's 20-footer left.
The players struggling here at 11. Pin over on the left-hand side, seeing the wind whipping across to the right. And there's another one going in the wind. Very difficult conditions here today.
So Walsh, after a good aggressive tee shot. Oh, and that's frustration. You can hear it. Rory just saying, go, go, go. He'd done all the good work and couldn't quite finish the job.
Straight up the hill. Didn't hit it.
It's a little becalmed at the moment, the tournament, where the conditions just getting even more blustery. Just knocked the players a little bit, I think. Now, we've seen Fenwick extricate himself from a similar sort of position. And he was bold. Unfortunately, Harold cautious.
A little bit, almost too much loft on the club there. Into the wind, very difficult to get it up at the flag. He's going to struggle for par there at 11.
Well, that's all good news for Bradley Dredge. Good news for Fenwick as he tucks that one in to stay at 1 under.
A nice little chip and run. We've seen it's quite soft where Harold pitched it. He's going to have to get this one knocked down, running it up there. Good man,
Brilliant.
Look at that.
Brilliant.
Drive for show, chip and putt for the big dough.
It's a new quote, is it?
Yeah, I thought I'd just make one up. Mollen room.
Now, not the first time we've seen James Moore have to take a drop. So he's taking a drop there at 13. Again, back to Harold. Another demanding shot.
This is needed. He really needed that one. It just gives more of a big boost to Bradley Dredge.
Yes, I'm afraid Harold continuing to lose ground.
Oh, this is what I like to see. Driver off the deck.
There's water up there. Not so sure that was the play.
Still smiles though.
Yes, he was not happy about that, James Moore. Now then, moved himself right out to the left side of the tee box as he stood on it, just to try and open up this green.
Perfect distance, wasn't it?
And he knew it, didn't he? Just hanging left, you could see him just, oh no, really? Anyway, here we go, Mo. Obviously winning the drink.
Well, he's got to be very careful here. And I'm afraid James Moore under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, big putt for bogey.
Harold also using the left-hand side of the tee here at 12, trying to open up this flag position, tucked on the right-hand side. Asking it to sit. And that's why it's a long putt, not that bad a shot. He's left him a long putt. And they're tricky in these conditions.
Yeah, really needs this, does James Moore, to preserve what he has on the scorecard. And already seen him have one double. He's heading that way again, I'm afraid.
Trouble is, he just tried to chase his mistake off the tee with driver off the deck, and I'm unfortunately paying the penalty.
Just give it a nice pace. Has he got it right? I think that's come up quite a bit shy.
Yeah, just unravelling at the moment for the leader at the start of the day, William Harold. And Moore tucks it away for another double, I'm afraid. Not good news for him, but it's very good news for this man. Bradley Dredge made his move and has glided into the lead.
Oh, beautiful roll, balls running lovely on the greens.
Yeah, even in these conditions, the course looking fabulous.
No, it does. It's cut to perfection. I mean, give it a couple more years, those trees blossoming that little couple of feet more. My goodness, this could be an absolute diamond of a place to come and play.
Yes, the course maturing nicely. William Harold certainly having to mature today. The Dawson and Sanderson Travel Classic. It's been an interesting journey for the leader heading out into this final round, but it's a journey that has taken him a little bit backwards. Bradley Dredge leads him by 2 as we continue this match play situation. Welcome back to Longhirst Hall in Northumberland and final round action from the Dawson and Sanderson Classic. Let's take a look at hole 13 with John.
Here we are at the tremendous 13th hole, par 5, absolute monster, 231 yards. Can you believe it? Just to the front edge of the fairway. Then you've got 281 yards to the narrow bit of the fairway up there, where the boys are going to be hitting driver, and you've got trouble on the left, trouble on the right. Absolutely so demanding. Then you come to your second shot, and then you're left with probably in the region of about 250, 260 still left to go to an amazing green. Beautiful bunker, lovely contoured, trouble everywhere as well. Water in front of the green. It is a fantastic hole, and I tell you what, if you make birdie here, tip your cap, lovely jubbly, to the next you go with a massive grin on your face.
Well, who's going to be grinning out of our 2 leaders? Dredge and Harold find themselves in a real head-to-head battle in this final round.
I mean, it's such a tough driving hole. I mean, there's only 20 yards wide, you know, the fairway, right in between 2 hazards. I mean, you've got to be Daniel Dart to land it there.
What a shot, Bradley Dredge. I think he put his tee shot in a hazard, but a third to there. He's going to get out of jail with an opportunity for a birdie, in fact.
That was world class.
Quite brilliant from the 2-time European Tour winner. Now, Neil Fenwick, seen his partner James Moore just drop away from the pace. Always tough when the pair of you aren't firing on both cylinders. Now then, this would be double bonus for Dredge.
Wow.
That
What a
is an
birdie.
absolute amazing birdie. Drive it in the water off the tee and still make birdie. Hard to believe sometimes.
That's proper golf there from Bradley
Different
Dredge.
gravy. Different gravy, I call it.
Battling performance from him. Now, Fallon. That putt must have looked ugly from where he was. Tickled it up there. Just confirmation that that 3-shot cushion is back again, but it's all change. Harold had it at the start of the day. Dredge has got it now. And it's Harold that is doing the chasing. But John, you were putting a positive spin on that earlier today. You said that might play into his hands and he can just relax now.
Yeah, he's keeping it simple. You mean he's expecting to feel a little bit jingly-jangly during the course of the round, and I think if you accept that that's going to happen, you know, you can play a little bit smoother.
Wasn't a very impressive second shot, up 14. How's Dredge going to do?
He's followed suit.
Anything you can do. Bit jingly and jangly from both men.
16, lovely par 3. This will be a good par if he can whack this one in. Oh, spoke too soon. Sorry, Mr. Fallon.
Things starting to happen a bit from Fenwick. This second shot approach here was also right down the stick, just a little bit shy. Can he knock this one in from the fringe? He can. What a putt. Fabulous putt, Neil Fenwick.
Absolute perler. And some of these chaps, these greens are pretty raised in places, so they're not going to get to see the ball finish up. So it's a little bit of a guessing game, unfortunately.
Continuing to grind. As Harold said it all day, so important to get these close. So important to give yourself a chance of getting out of danger with a par. And this is 16, there you see, lovely par 3 there, but playing just above its par of 3, big deep bunker there on the right hand side, and we did see a tier cutting right across the middle of the green. So important to get your tee shot on the right level. Beautiful hole.
Let's see how Fenwick copes with it. We've already seen how tricky that putt can be if you leave it just a little bit short. Lots of protection for the flag with the way this green is contoured.
I mean, this is blowing severely left to right and slightly into. They're having to power on a 4-iron or a 3-iron to get it onto the green. Playing very tough today.
We've already seen great examples of Bradley Dredge out the bunkers, but that certainly wasn't one of them. Clumsy.
Yeah, that was a very out of character Bradley Dredge. Yeah, I don't know what his lie was like in that bunker, but it couldn't have been good.
Camera giving us a real idea of the camber on this green that the golfers have to get round if that's where they land the ball. Our leader's still to come through that hole.
See if he can limit the damage here. Get up and down. Oh, that was absolutely fantastically played. Old school bump and run.
Yeah, pretty good first putt to get it here. This should be a tap in for Neil Fenwick.
So solid enough from Fenwick. Play partner James Moore just saying good 3.
I tell you what, this might ask the question of Bradley Dredge if this baby goes in. Oh, unlucky Mr. Harold.
Well, good to see such a confident strokes hill. Now 17. Second shot for Fenwick. He chopped down on that one.
It's a very raised green, this one as well. I mean, if you miss this green, it just slopes away from you. And I tell you what, leaves you with a very tricky chip, especially with that pin front left today.
damage repaired. Well done, Bradley Dredge. Keeps things rolling along nicely. That little glimmer of hope that young Harold had, I'm afraid, snatched away almost immediately. So still a lot of work to do for young William Harold, but at the moment it really is stacked in Bradley Dredge's favour.
Certainly is, but he's not, you know, not losing his rag. He's trying to stay very composed. You just never know what could happen.
Here we are at the Beastie par 4 15th, absolute diamond of a hole. You want to aim it down the left-hand side, kind of opens up this green. You've got this bunker lurking on the right, out of bounds on the right-hand side as well, coming into a little wee green. Lovely little thick bunker on the right-hand side and big runoffs either side. I mean, this is a great hole. You're going to catch a few people making a few bogeys on this baby.
A wee beastie, eh? Something to sort out the men from the boys. Dredge then, getting away with it at the last hole. He won't want to have too many more scares like that if he can possibly help it on his way back to the clubhouse. Spoke too soon.
Now, I was expecting the second shot to be in the green. When he chipped up to here, as he got off with a par, beautiful, oh lovely, horrible little left to righter just outside the head, but he stayed with it, got it in. You can see what that means to him.
Yes, I think he enjoyed that one. Now, Scott Fallon did threaten during the course of this final round, but unfortunately his challenge just dropping away over the closing holes. His approach to 18, well, the green's tricky enough, isn't it, John, without doing that?
Yeah, it is. The biggest defence on this hole is definitely the green. And pretty much the tee shot as well, it's not too easy.
Lovely smooth swing from Harold. Dredge in a bit of trouble.
Oh, a little bit of chubby checker back into the old bunker. Hopefully he's got a handsome lie in there. Might have to have the feet outside the bunker again.
Fallon quite circumspect about this shot. Plenty of green to work with, but shouldn't be too much trouble from there.
And hopefully Bradley's eradicated the memory of the skin trap shot at the last hole. Oh, that looks, well...
Was that a bit of a pluggy lie? Because he came down pretty steep on that, baby.
Looked a little bit edgy. Left himself a knee trembler.
Now this for 1 over, which in the context of today's conditions is not too bad. But it's not going to be that, I'm afraid. So disappointing end for Scott Fallon.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to have to take the positives. I mean, obviously starts with a bogey. I mean, that first hole is very, very difficult. But a birdie and an eagle to follow, and then that juicy double, unfortunately, straight after the eagle. But I tell you what, you'll take confidence from a very good tournament.
Now, Harold, he's avoided the bunker. He's got to the stage where these have almost got to go in. This for the par.
He's giving it a good run. Oh. Should be a formality for the man. Now, tough approach for Fenners here at the left edge. Let the wind drift it in towards that hole.
Like most players, though, not managed to make that top tier today.
Yeah, it's because there's so much trouble beyond it. Just kicks away on you. But come on, Bradley.
Oh, yes. Cool, calm and collected.
Cold as ice.
Thought you were going to start singing then, John.
Yeah. Ready to sacrifice my love. No, I'm not going to say it, I promise.
So outside birdie opportunity for a glorious finish for Fennick. Come on, come on. Oh, not quite. All smiles, though.
Well, he's had a good day, Simon, hasn't it? It's been very difficult, very blustery. Tough to find the fairways, hard to hold the putts. And as we see there, it's still a very competent scorecard. The 1 bogey and a double, but 4 beautiful birdies for a round of 71.
And we got James, hopefully his final putt. Cool, absolutely ripped it at the back of the hole and span it out. But he's still smiling.
Yeah. Pleasure, mate. Well played, mate.
Well, here's his mixed bag, topsy-turvy as you like. Look at it, bogeys, doubles, eagles, birdies. My goodness, massive mixed bag. 78.
And Harold did not want a bogey on this hole. Ooh, has to settle for it though. A little bit of a victory lap as it finally dropped, but I'm afraid no victory lap scheduled at the moment for this young man as he falls further away from Bradley Dredge. Dredge now with a 4-shot lead over his nearest rivals. More from the Dawson and Sanderson Travel Classic coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to Longhirst Hall and the Dawson and Sanderson Travel Classic. Before we get back to final round action, John Morgan is at the 16th.
Well, here we are at the juicy 16th, par 3, probably in a region of about 7, 6, 5 iron, all depending on the wind. Obviously, you've got to contend with this beautiful bunker right here, which is obviously right in play if you block it. But then you come to just in front of this green and it slopes all the way down to this water. And as you can see, if you get a little bit of spin on it, it can go and go and go. Obviously, conditions permitting, it would run a lot further. But now we come to this green. Now, this green is beautiful. It's got a lovely, beautiful tier, very subtle, not too deep, which is always, I think, a good thing. Now, come final day, I think pin position is either going to be right here or probably roughly about there. Now, these lads are going to have to deal with a very demanding tee shot, going to have to land it like a butterfly with sore feet and trying to get it to stick. This is a great par 3.
Let's see if Bradley Dredge can make it a great par 3 from his point of view anyway.
Oh, straight out of that. That's got to be right.
First real sign of frustration, and that's drifted over to the temporary green.
Little sign in there. Might be a bit of GUR. Here we go, maybe just rushed it slightly from the top. Brain gets ahead of himself. Only 3 holes from finish. And he hated it as soon as he made contact.
Well, there's no life in this tournament yet.
Can Harold pounce on a mistake from Dredge? Find the middle of this dance floor. Oh
dear.
That's low and right, I think, as well. Oh, where's that gone? Short of the green, definitely. Here comes another swing. Obviously, we've seen Dredge with not the best one, and here, obviously, this is going to follow. Come straight out of it, not interested at all, and off the club. Try and wipe that from your memory bank.
Well, that was an opportunity for William Harold, no doubt about it. Walsh at 18.
I'm sure he'd have had a choice there if he wanted to drop it, but I think he obviously liked his lie and decided to keep his feet on the road.
Well, actually, speaking of dropping, I'm not sure Bradley's allowed to do this. There's a local rule here about this temporary green that relief must be taken, and that looked like he was playing from the GUR. Normally, you're allowed to play from GUR if you want, but unless it specifically says in the local rules, we'll have to wait and see.
Oh, the eagle eyes there of Andrew Coulthart picking up what could potentially be quite a serious problem for Bradley Dredge. He has a 4-shot cushion. What could it cost him?
2 juicy shots.
Big juicy 2, yeah. Well, I bet William Harold isn't aware of it, but certainly door opening here.
He might be if he's read the local rules. Oh, wow, what a shot.
The door's wide open.
I tell you what,
a change.
Oh, that is unbelievable. I mean, if obviously it comes back, this could be a massive moment for Mr. Harold.
This could be the turning point of the day for William Harold, who looks so dejected after his tee shot at 16. Well, that's rather overshadowing everybody else coming into the clubhouse now. The drama is happening with our final pair.
Yeah, this could get kamikaze, I must admit. A dredge for par. Could it be for par?
Yeah, I'm not sure Bradley's aware of the situation here. It's a pretty good stroke.
Well, a two-shot swing.
There's a bit of debate going on with the spectators in the background there.
Yes, haven't seen an official hovering at the moment, but we'll keep a very close eye on that situation. Now then, Walsh rolls that in for par. Again, another man that promised so much at the start of the day, but couldn't quite deliver.
Yeah, a couple of double bogeys there, very tricky, tough scoring day as we said. Nice birdie on the 9th, but it all resulted in a 6 over par round of 78.
Clubhouse in the background, 17th tee for Dredge. Scorecard still reads 6 under. So at the moment, no decision has been made.
He's on the left side here. Not a bad angle to come into this green. And Mr. Payne, been playing some good golf recently. A very nice day for that man. Well, here's his scorecard. Well, I said a good day, but look at that. I mean, 6 bogeys all in all and 2 birdies in the last 4. Helps into a 76. You ain't gonna be too happy with that, but it's a very tough day. But here at 17, as we can see, big tee shot required. Coming over the water, not really in play for these boys. I mean, you've got this bunker lurking on the left. You don't want to catch that with your tee shot. It'll leave you a treacherous second shot in. But this green is raised, very difficult. You're going to have to take your medicine here. Middle of the green is a very small green as well, very undulating. Good chance of a birdie as well, but don't get too carried away.
Well, Dredge's second shot, but news coming to us from the course that he will be caught shortly by one of the rules officials. And Andrew Coltart, I think you're completely right about that situation.
Well, if this is true, this is a tough one because, as I said, most places you can play from GUR unless it's a special local rule. And there we can see it. There's a little sign in the middle there that says it's a ground under repair. But in the local rule sheet that the referee has produced for Bradley Dredge there beside the 17th, it will say relief must be taken. And unfortunately, that is a 2-shot penalty, and they are tied.
And the proof is in the pudding. The score is coming off. A little shake of the head from Dredge. He's not happy.
Wow, what about that chip in at 16 for Harold? Now he has a chance to win.
Tied for the lead. Oh, and I tell you what, that was for a birdie and could have gone 1 in the lead. Huh. What a turnaround. It's helter-skelter moment on the golf course.
Yes, I like that. Helter-skelter just about sums it up, doesn't it? And Bradley Dredge now have to dredge up some real professionalism to get past that body blow.
This will be a moment, if he can hold this. Well, that is a great response to some bad news.
Goodness me, what will William Harold be thinking right now, let alone Bradley Dredge? And this is what they got to come.
Tricky 18th. 423 yards, little bit of a dog leg, as you can see. Bunker on the right hand side, around about the 260, 270. If you can clear that, it makes it a little bit easier for you. Very difficult to get the right club into this green with the pin up on the back tier. Slopes away off to the right hand side. It's a beautiful finishing hole.
And we are heading for a beautiful finish. Bradley Dredge going to have to try and keep things together here. I guess on the positive side, he's not out of it.
Well, this is the moment. Good drive required. one in the lead. Oh.
It was a huge putt on that last green, but it must have rattled on this. There's no to be able to... Oh, jeez, that's... Well, that's almost it gone there. In one swift swell swoop.
How cruel can this game be?
Well, he's just whacked it in the old Amazon rainforest over there. And this man, can he capitalise? Whack it down that left-hand side, away from that bunker. Can leave yourself such a nice shot into this green. And he's just flirted with that bunker and got away with it. I tell you what, advantage Harold. I tell you what, lovely swing this man's got. Keeps it very simple. Nice lag as well, power through it. Doesn't rush it. Unfortunately, Dredgy definitely rushed his.
Well, potentially, that's a stake tree. That'll be a free drop. He's getting there. Just saw the little stake holding the tree upright. But Harold from the perfect position off the tee.
Perfect time to put pressure on. He's left himself a lengthy putt, but all the work's to be done for this man.
Yes, Harold doing what he needs to do here, and he's playing it in a very mature, very professional manner. It's all happened to this man though, hasn't it? Bradley Dredge over the last 2 holes.
Very difficult to judge the distance out of that rough, trying to get a decent yardage to attack the flag, get something up there with a bit of spin, a bit of check, with the opportunity to make par and to win. Very tricky. Lucky to find it, and lucky to have a view back to the fairway from here. And it was all going so well for Bradley Dredge through 15 holes.
Yeah, my goodness, what a fall away. But this could redeem himself here if this one goes close.
Yes, ironically chipping from very close to another temporary green.
Oh, my goodness, how much spin did that get out of the rough? Has left himself a good 15-20 footer straight up the hill.
The playoff couldn't have been further from our minds earlier today, and now it really is at the forefront.
Well, I tell you what, if Harold holds this, my goodness, we might have the champion right here on 18.
Well, the sun's come out for young Harold, hasn't it? Because half an hour ago, he had no chance of winning this, and now he has. So his day has got so much better.
Never look a gift horse in the mouth, as they say. Is that the saying?
Yeah, well, he hasn't. He's done very well, hasn't he? Coming down the 18th, he's held it together. He's done what he's had to do. Now, Dredge for par, and effectively for the tournament, despite all the problems. He's given it a go. No, he hasn't. It's come up short. Line was good as well, and he will be kicking himself. Well, that is how golf tournaments can change, and change dramatically in the blink of an eye. It was looking so good for Bradley Dredge, but it all went wrong at that unfortunate 16th. So Harold for par to take this to a playoff, and another big shot for that young man. And his dream of winning a second EuroPro Tour title is still very much alive, but he's going to have to do it via the playoff.
Well, you won't believe it looking at this card. 5 bogeys and 1 birdie, and he's able to tie for the lead. And now going into a playoff, I mean, he probably can't believe his luck.
Well, a drama-packed final round. And this is what the leaderboard looks like at the end of those last 18 holes in the Dawson and Sanderson Travel Classic. William Harold and Bradley Dredge both finish on 3 under, and they're going to have to go to a playoff to sort this one out. My goodness me, it was all going so well for Bradley Dredge, and then at 16, it just disappeared. And Harold still in it. Playoff after the break.
So after all the drama at the 16th, Bradley Dredge and William Harold have finished tied on 3 under par after 54 holes and will now compete in a sudden death playoff on the 18th hole to determine who will win the Dawson and Sanderson Travel Classic.
Thanks, Cara. Well, it's becoming a theme, isn't it, on the EuroPro Tour? Another playoff to sort out who takes the trophy home. William Harold, already a winner this year on the tour, up against the experience of former European Tour player Bradley Dredge, and it's virtually a carbon copy, John Morgan.
Yeah, he's probably gone and placed that exactly where he was before. I tell you what, he came up short last time on his approach, so you know he can hit one more club.
Well, Dredge doesn't want to replicate what he did off the tee earlier on today. Par bogey is how he's played it, so it's not been a kind hole to him. Oof, he was flirting with it again, and that didn't sound good.
That's got to be up against the lip.
Good free swing once again from this young man, and that's been a feature. He's had a lot of pressure to deal with today, but he certainly seems to have been very relaxed and played fluidly.
He's got a little baby stone right behind it. Yep.
It's that game of operation again, isn't it? The buzzer didn't go off, fortunately, for Dredge.
Harold really going to emphasise his position as favourite after that tee shot there. Can he put this right into the heart of the green?
Well, no one's been up there yet. Look at this spin. Oh, what a shot. Good man.
Well, he's almost using the last time down 18 as a rehearsal, and this time with his approach, he's got it right. All the pressure now on Dredge.
He done what he needed to do, cleared the lip as he got the length. Far from it, unfortunately.
Difficult shot. Had to keep his shoulders level with the slope. He played a pretty good shot to get that close to the green. The error was off the tee.
Wow, massively in the driver's seat. Dredge, you're going to have to hold this, but that is a place you do not go.
Well, this is an hour of Bradley Dredge's golfing career that he will want to forget immediately. Can you believe, Andrew Coulthard, what has happened to him?
Very difficult. The old experienced pro was doing everything he needed to do, playing well, and it's unfortunately just been caught out by a ruling.
He needs to hold it. Has to go in.
Good effort.
Great attempt.
But the door is very much open for William Harold, the young man from Norfolk, from a beautiful part of the world, Sheringham Golf Club. Lovely links course on the east coast.
He's got 2 putts from very short range.
Does it in style, though. And William Harold wins his 2nd tournament this season and becomes the Dawson and Sanderson Travel Classic champion for 2014. So let's take a look at how that leaves the order of merit after that result. No surprises at the top. 2 £10,000 paydays for William Harold. That virtually guarantees his top 5 finish on this year's tour. Just ahead of Jack Senior in 2nd place and Bradley Dredge in 3rd. Right then, let's hear from Bradley and William.
Everybody had sort of dropped back, apart from Bradley, who at the time was like 6 under, I think, and I was back down to 2 under. So, you know, I'm not going to say I didn't think I could still win, but I felt like, the way my game was, I was, if you can just try and, make 3 good pars or something, that would be nice. And then I chipped in on 16 and nearly made birdie on 17. So, yeah, that was good.
Worked hard to get a 4-shot lead, stand on 16T. And I just thought, nothing silly coming in and should be fine. And I did a very good tee shot on 16, pushed it way right, won a very good shot. And then I was on a GUR, it was just a winter green. So I've always thought the option with GUR is you can either play it or you take a free drop. So it's a bit of semi-rough around it, so I decided to play it. It was in a little hole, but nothing serious. And so I played around the green, not my best chip. 2 putted for a 4. I went up to 17th and played 17, and then the referee came up to me and said it was a 2-shot penalty on 16 for not taking, it was a mandatory drop from the green. So I didn't check the local rules. So it's an unusual one, but there we go. I think the moral of the story is check local rules.
Felt a little bit, you know, I guess bad. I mean, it was, you know, unfortunate with the ruling of the 2-shot, but I mean, golf's full of surprises, I guess. You never know what could happen, so I just, you know, same again, 1 shot. You know, fortunately I knocked out the middle and had the same club as I did on 18, you know, 5 minutes ago, and I couldn't have hit a better shot, so it was great.
Well, a fantastic and dramatic story today. Congratulations to William on his 2nd Tour victory of the season. We got a great selection of courses for you this year on the EuroPro Tour, covering England, Scotland and Ireland. And it's to the south of England that we head, and Burr Hill in Surrey for our next fantastic helping of EuroPro action. For now, though, from me, Simon Golding, and my co-commentators Andrew Coltart and John Morgan, it's goodbye. We'll see you next time.